Ready?
I'm ready.
Cheers. I'm going to drink a little of this before I drink. Cheers. It's 7 Up. Don't do that. Peer pressure.
The first cheers has got to be straight from the bottle.
All right, you know what?
Straight from the bottle.
You know what? Because you're my big bro. Cheers.
There you go. There we go.
You can sit over if you want on this couch. In my bed.
After this, we'll just turn off the lights and
cuddle. Elijah, you don't know. So tonight I have my big brother Duy.
Elijah has 2 dads. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right.
Say it again. I'm gonna use a sound clip.
Elijah has 2 dads.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so tonight I'm talking with my big brother Duy. He is one of the co-owners of Soudnbox, which has been my dance home since moving to Houston. He is one of the few people that are older than me in our group of friends.
Not that much older.
30 minutes. And I really respect Duy because he seems to always be one of the first ones to get things accomplished. A trailblazer, right? So he's opened up a studio, previous director of Wyldstyl, of the UH Modern team, right? He has a big boy job where he wears nice wingtip shoes. Really good ones, works at a bank, and has a beautiful wife and has a house or 2, right? And so it seems like out of our group of friends, you have figured it out. So I'm excited to talk to my big brother, Duy, tonight.
Thank you.
I love that you're wearing your chain now.
I found this on your door.
It's yours now.
I just put it on.
It's yours now. You look good in it.
Thank you.
Hip hop.
Yeah. I was going to wear it as a bracelet, but
get out of here. Everyone I talk to nominates you. I should put a little bit closer for me.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Nah, they all see what I see. A respectable big bro type. I'm gonna talk a little bit about why I think you're the big bro of the big bros, right? But for anyone who doesn't know Duy, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you came up in the community, and then how Soudnbox came to be, and then we'll jump off of that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, I never really considered myself a big bro to anybody except before, and my little brother, of course, Twan. Thank you.
Yep.
I think really you're the first person to like consistently call me big bro.
Really?
I guess that's an honor.
It's a respect thing for me.
I feel like I'm so much shorter and small that
you're not smaller.
Actually, Twan is even tall. Hey, Twan's my little but bigger bro. So,
yeah.
How I came about, dancing in general, or
I mean, I guess just maybe how you came up, how you got involved with dancing. Most people know you as the owner of Soudnbox.
I'm one of the owners of Soudnbox.
Correct.
Yes.
But I don't think they really know kind of how that came to be.
Soudnbox kind of came about because we were sort of looking for a new home at the time with the old studio that we were at. And it's kind of hard to explain this without kind of going back to where everything started from.
Okay.
My friend Philip Lee, one of the daddies of Wyldstyl, or mommies, he founded Revolutions PAC back in the days. This was a while back, and we moved a couple times, and there came to a point where Philip wanted to pursue other careers in his life, and we were kind of stuck in a situation where we should continue to go and keep Wyldstyl going, or we kind of stop. Yeah. We chose to keep Wyldstyl going, keep Wyldstyl dancing. Wyldstyl has been sorry, my phone has been going off. So I'm gonna put it on vibrate. That's my mistake here.
You better vibrate it.
I know. We chose to keep Wyldstyl dancing. We chose to continue to find a different home. A new home, I guess, at the time.
How many people were on Wyldstyl at the time then?
Man, at that time, probably, I would say 12, 15.
Like a decent size.
On and off, yeah.
Are you directing at that time too?
Yeah.
So you're in charge of finding the new home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Fortunately, we had some help with some people that had brought us out to a show in China. They heard that we were in search of a new dance studio, so they put in touch with a realtor, and we found a new home at the time. So at that time, it was really just me, and I was looking around, also asking a few of the leaders at that time, and then Andrew and Calvin stepped up. So, for us, it was kind of like we're either going to go to the unemployment line together or we're going to fake it to make it.
Yeah.
So we faked it and we are making it until now.
It's been 10 years and change.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
10 years and change, yeah. It has been.
So when you guys started the studio, and I don't know the full history either, so I'm not BSing and ask the questions, right? So when you guys started the studio, so it wasn't about having a studio, it was about having space to be yours?
It was having having a home to keep dancing, to keep Wyldstyl going, to keep that name going. The people around were very supportive at that time, and they still are. A lot of them are still very supportive, still part of Soudnbox until this day. But we just wanted to keep dancing, and we want to keep the family.
I love that.
Together, and I think I just barely graduated college at that time, and I was trying to. It sucks because it was during the time where the market crashed.
Oh,
in 2000. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 2008. Hello, 2008, 2009. So it's hard for me to find a job just graduating in 2008. So I found a job, bounced around here and there, but I was able to get back into a banking job because I work as a teller throughout college to kind of pay for my ways throughout college. And found a job with a bank that was I was able to get off around 4:30. The studio would open up by 7 at that time. I just need to get there by like 5:30, so it was perfect. Just going at 8:30 in the morning, get off at 4, go open up the studio.
You guys are doing classes every night?
Yeah. Just hustle. I was young, so just work. When you're young, you have the energy and the time too. So hustle.
Did you, Calvin and Andrew, see yourselves as entrepreneurs at the time? Was that even a thing to consider?
Yeah, it is, just because, I first heard of that word in college. Yeah. Because there was an entrepreneurship degree that you can go after. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I took a course in it and learned about it. So that's the only way I knew about it. But, other than before that, the only thing is a business owner. Yeah. But yeah, so I for us, it was less thinking about entrepreneurship or owning our own business at the time, but it's more of finding a home where Wyldstyl at the time can keep dancing. And it was weird. I guess not weird, but we talk about names and stuff like that, and we didn't want for the studio to be called just Wyldstyl, because we had envisioned it to be more than that. To be homes for more dancers and hopefully more teams. And I think at the time my vision was for this new facility to be the mecca of dance. So I don't know how I came up with the name Soudnbox, but I said it and it kind of just stuck with Andrew and Calvin, so we kept that name. Yeah, it's probably also because our old studio, the second studio before we went to Soudnbox, it's probably like 700 square feet big. It's tiny.
Right. Yeah.
It's surrounded by mostly glass and mirrors, and it was like a box.
I love those videos.
Yeah. It's just like you literally walk in, you sign in during the class is there. It's just team rehearsals. Sometimes we have to actually split it down in half. Only half of the team can run the right side of the studio, and the left side has to run it because of the mirror space. And then when we need to run it full out, we got to go outside in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then I literally have to go across the street to be able to see the whole set across the street.
Wait. As a director,
yes.
When you're watching the set, you mean?
Yeah. Because I wouldn't be able to see the whole team. we don't fit in the studio, so we do it outside. But if you're outside, I'm so close. Maybe like 7-8 feet. So I have to go across the street to get the full view of the set. And sometimes it's dark.
Are you yelling? Hey, fix your spacing.
Probably. I can't recall, but it's good times,
I love those kind of stories though. It's cool because now you're 10 years in. The studio is big. How many square feet is the studio now?
Almost 8,000. And
even then, it feels like we're looking to expand sometimes. Like even then, sometimes it gets tight, right? Because there's so many dancers now that are in the studio at one time.
Yeah.
Pre-corona.
It can get tight sometimes, which is weird, right? Like, but the place is perfect for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah.
And then, when we do things like Birthday Bash, you're selling out theaters.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the family, friends. For the most part, we're selling out theaters to do it. And that's so cool. In 10 years, you've done that. And I think people don't even realize, because you are so humble, like, people wouldn't even know you're one of the owners. Like, you never lead with it. You never are like, oh, this is my studio, or I'm one of the co-founders. Like, people don't even know how important you, Calvin, and Andrew are to the community. They might get it, but I think for the younger ones who've come up, who've only been dancing 5, 6 years, 8 years, whatever it is, who don't know what it is, it's really important to have a place to practice, to call home for your team, your studio, whatever it is. And you guys have done that.
Yeah.
Really, really well too.
I'm glad we're able to do that for the dance scene, and it's just incredible to see how much it's grown over the years, and it brings awareness and unity, and it just it's a big, I don't know, melting pot.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's cool because I feel like Soudnbox is up there with all of the major studios I grew up knowing about, right? Like before ML was there, I would watch YouTube videos at Millennium or at Debbie, right? Or at Broadway Dance Center, BDC in New York. And then all of a sudden, Soudnbox pops up right after So Real was on the show. And then right around the same time, the studio opens up and I saw Emmett.
Yeah.
Emmett, the former...
Emmett, come back to Houston.
Woo!
Go Rockets.
Okay. I saw Emmett opened up the workshop for the brand new studio. Who else was there that year?
Mari
was there.
Was
Bam there?
Madrid. Bam was there.
Yeah. And then the next year, I think, or 2 years from there, it was Bash 2. And that's when you guys asked for me to perform for the first time. Thank you for giving me that opportunity, because it sucks so bad.
No.
This is the one in the back of the studio. In the platforms. And it was so bad and so windy. If you watch the video, at the end of our set, I'm wearing a hat like backwards, like how I normally do. And the wind takes my hat off in the middle of the set.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, and I'm so new. You can see it in my face, like, do I pick up my hat? It's an amateur move. But that year was Kyle was there.
Bam.
Bam came back.
And Andy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I feel like you guys always had such great support from the whole dance scene, like SoCal, NorCal, like East Coast, West Coast. How did you guys do that?
Man,
like to this day, we have a really strong relationship with some heavy hitter teams who we don't even consider like heavy hitter teams. They're just like the homies.
Yeah, I mean, growing up as a dancer, I would follow a lot of the dance culture out in the West Coast.
Yeah,
and Formality was
Ooh.
One of my favorite teams, and I first learned about Formalities at Hip Hop International with Wyldstyl. We went to Hip Hop International for the first time, I think in 2004.
Oh man,
2004, and
before I started dancing.
Yeah, it was me, our director founder of Wyldstyl, Gary Connor, and a few other people on the team. And, we represented Houston, Texas. I think we may have been the only team from Houston at the time.
That's dope.
And then we saw these Asian dudes, and up until then, I never knew Asian dudes could dance like that. And they were wearing these cut off blazers. There was one Asian kid with the blonde tip in his hair.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And we saw them. They went on stage and they performed, and we were just like, our jaws would just drop. It was a style that I've never seen before. I'm like, dude, that's fucking
really.
Excuse my language.
How did you dance before that then? Because I feel like you're very influenced by the West Coast.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Gary was my director, and he's a former Planet Funk director. So I don't know. My style was kind of off of Gary. I don't know. And Gary's very he's very technical, but also like old school hip hop.
I love it though.
In the same at the same time. But yeah, when I saw these guys, I was like, what are they? Like, what are these guys? And then I saw them do it, and I was like, I was amazed by them. And that guy with the blonde tip, by the way, is Keone.
I didn't want to name drop, but I knew it.
Yeah. I still talk about it to this day. That team, Keone was on that team. Ving was on that team.
Pat? Not Pat.
No.
What's his name?
Emmett was on that team.
Javon was on that team.
Will Ortega at Hip Hop International. I don't know if Javon was on that team. Yeah, but all these like...
Was Ving on then?
Ving was on that team, yeah. Man, it was... I think Ving was on that team. Ving, I think you were on that team. I don't know.
It was a bunch of hitters.
Yeah.
And I was telling Jay this because he was on Formality too, and he was giving me the history of SoCal in general, like in a brief snapshot. And I was telling him, because Formality was my team too coming up, that if you were a up-and-coming male dancer, that was the team you wanted to be on. They were the Backstreet Boy, NSYNC. They were the original F-boys of the community.
Classy F-boys. Now, I wouldn't even consider them F-boys. They were gentlemen.
They were just so good.
Yeah, they were so good.
They
were so good.
But that's cool that we should. I didn't know that you loved them so much.
Yeah.
So did you talk to them after the show? Is that how you guys connected?
I connected with because one of my friend that was on that team at the time, she kind of thought this guy was attractive. His name was Will. And they met in the elevator. And then that's how we got talking because of Melissa.
Shout outs to Melissa.
Yeah, shout out to Melissa. And then, so that's how I got to know them a little bit. And I found Eric Saratpan later on online on YouTube. We communicated. But so that year, actually, so if you guys know about Hip Hop International, there's a U.S. division. And I think you got to, at that time, let me try to remember correctly, you got to be top 5 or top 3 to qualify to the World Finals.
Okay.
Which is
that the one in Vegas?
This is back in California.
Okay.
When it was back in California. So we were actually number 3 in the U.S. And I think Formality was like number 2 or 1 or something like that. So anyways, we advanced to the finals. We didn't make it to top 3 in the World Finals. But we were top 3 in the U.S.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, stood for our cool. first time.
Yeah.
And we met some amazing people there. Some people I still are friends on Facebook until now. Met people from like Chicago, L.A., Culture Shock. I was introduced to Culture Shock for the first time.
They're the grandfathers of the dance scene.
This was like back in 2004, and like for some reason, our ending pose for that set, I guess, was good enough that Paul Mitchell was the main sponsor at the time.
Still
they took a picture.
Days.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what was the pose?
We were the first one to do this thing where we would throw a dancer over another dancer and land on the ground. Anyways, that was our ending pose.
You guys started that? That's because of you?
I don't know if we started that or not, but maybe. Thanks to Gary.
Yeah.
Almost like a cheerleading pose. You throw someone.
Oh, yeah.
Our ending pose, Paul Mitchell liked it so much, they used it for the Hip Hop International poster for the following year.
Oh.
So we end up being on the Hip Hop International poster for the following year.
So you still won, even though you didn't win.
Yeah. I still have that picture. There's actually a big banner somewhere. Gotta find it. But yeah, no, I'm still proud of it. This was when we had like a minute to like do everything we can in 1 minute.
Back then, did you still have to do all styles?
Yeah.
And transitions and everything? Like there were all those criteria for Hip Hop International?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
this was before Paris got there.
Yeah, exactly. Gary thought it was cool to do like an 8 count or 2 and then reverse the music and do the moves backward.
Whoa! In 2004?
Yeah, we did
Game changer.
And I remember the crowd went, wow.
Game changer.
That was pretty cool. It was like, bring the beat back.
I've only saw a couple of teams ever pull that off. That's cool that you guys.
I don't know if we pull it off, but we did it. So
you're the first one to do it?
I don't know if we were the first one to do it, but we did it and the crowd liked it. So I can't, I guess they're at that competition probably, but yeah. So anyways, that's just how I got to know formality and the West Coast style. And after that, I feel like YouTube was starting to blow up. And
2006, 2007.
Yeah, more and more dance videos were popping off. So I would follow a lot of the West Coast style. And I think my style transformed into more of the West Coast style at the time.
Because you're very, in my opinion, you're very technical. I feel like you hear music a lot of the same ways that they do. And texturally, the choices you make remind me a lot of SoCal.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is a compliment. Yeah, 100%. But I think it's cool, that was 2004.
Yeah.
So 17 years later, that's crazy. 17 years later, right? You're still homies with a lot of those people that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Still talk. Most of us are grown up. I think most people in that group have kids now and are married.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah. So let me ask you this then. So you had the studio. It's been 10 years. You're dancing this whole time. And then you start working your big boy job.
Yeah.
Right? How did you balance that? I feel like you do it well, but I wasn't around when you were dancing full time either.
Do well, SBS. I'm gonna take this off now. I'm taking this off now. All right, here we go. Yeah. I'm resting it here.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Yeah. So you start doing well at the bank. Are you directing the whole time too?
Yeah.
So I kind of know what that's like. What was it like for you though? Working full time in a big boy job, directing, owning the studio. Do you remember those years?
It's a blur, to be honest.
I bet, yeah.
Like my passion has always been dance, and at that time it was probably one of the strongest. I was very competitive, very driven, and it just wanted to keep. And I was inspired by the West Coast movement, and what I saw from Hip Hop International, and wanted to make Houston and Wyldstyl a team to be recognized with.
So that was the goal, is be one of the top dogs.
I don't, for me, I don't, it's not about being the top dog, but it's about being well respected and being able to just keep the community growing and dancing. And by doing so, it's about bringing awareness, right, to the current community at that time that was growing. Yeah. And also to inspire more people to get into what we were doing. I contribute a lot of it to these dance shows that came out, like America's Got Talent, and then it was So You Think You Can Dance, and America Best Dance Crew. Yeah. A lot of my friends were on season 2 of America's Best Dance Crew.
There's a lot of people from Houston. Was that the season Ghost was on too?
Yeah. We actually auditioned for season 2. We didn't make it. But So Real got on. Yeah. A lot of my friends were on there, and that played a big part to the Houston dance community.
Huge. Yeah. That's how I found you guys. Yeah. Is when I was traveling around, I didn't know anything in Houston, but I knew So Real was on the show. Yep. So I found them in the studio, and then like from talking to people in the community, like, oh, there's also another studio, Soundbox. You should check it out. I never left. It was just, you guys are always really good to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were on So Real, and we're still really good friends. I mean, I grew up dancing with Andrew Batterina since like middle school. Kind of, we used to battle each other,
Really?
battle together.
Could he glide back then too?
Yeah,
For days.
Andrew's always good. You know,
Yeah.
he's always been awesome. Yeah, but we used to dance together. We perform at different shows together. It was fun. It was fun.
That's really, really cool.
We went to, we were at the same college, did Goodfield together. I remember Andrew and his brother Chris invited me to Goodfield to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
I don't think I auditioned for that, but I choreographed for it. And I remember showing up, and everybody was like, "Who the heck is this guy?" You know. But it was fun. You know, like that was my first taste of Goodfield, and that's how I got to know more of the Houston dance community.
Yeah.
The Houston Asian dance community. Sorry.
Yeah.
And got to know a lot more people, and then that's how it picked up from there. Also, that led to the next gen of Wyldstyl, because a lot of the people that would follow up from that came from Goodfield, whether it's from U of H or
Right.
different schools, mostly U of H. But yeah, but when Wyldstyl was started, it was really a lot of I would say teens, like 13 all the way to like 17,
really
18. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, since you're one of the older people around for Wyldstyl, what did Wyldstyl start, and then what does it mean to you? Like, what does the team stand for?
Wyldstyl, I guess, to me,
Okay.
if it wasn't for Wyldstyl, I don't think I would be where I am today, and that means a lot.
Yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't meet people like Andrew and Calvin.
Yeah.
And help the studio get to where I am today, and all of our directors now, like friends along the way.
Your wife.
Exactly. That's where I was going next. You know, I proposed to my wife at the grand opening of the new facility. So Wyldstyl plays a big part of my life, and I feel like a lot of people's life also. So, I give thanks to the founder of Wyldstyl, people that got me into dancing. So, we can talk about more of that later if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
But it means, it plays a big part of my life.
Yeah. I like that you always give thanks back. I feel like, not that anyone else does, but I feel like you are always very conscious about the steps that you took, or that got you to where you are now, and giving thanks. So even downstairs when we were talking about Gary, you got really excited to reconnect with Gary.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool to me to see. And then you start talking about the history a little bit downstairs. And to me, that just shows me that you really are a fan of the teams and the culture and the community. And that's where my heart is a lot too, right? Like, as someone who's danced on the West Coast, East Coast, down south now, it's cool that you're like that. Like you still get riled up about it, even though you're old and crusty now. Like,
all true. All true.
But let me ask you this then, right? So being a studio owner now, how tough was it not having the studio open the last couple of months? Is that the longest it's ever been open?
Yeah, it's the longest we've been closed down. Yeah, we closed down for 2 weeks. When we got flooded out from Harvey.
Yeah,
that was tough. But even when we opened back up, I think we opened back up to do a drive for like clothing and food and stuff like that, because we knew our community. We were trying to do what we can to help the community, and fortunately, we got back into it. We kept going until now, but I think we closed down March 16th. And our first day of reopening, I think, was May 18th or 19th. It's probably May 18th. But we opened up with very limited space.
Right.
It was only the ballroom rental during the day. Cliff and Fuka can open up the grades from 10 to 6, but
Yeah.
they were only operating with a few guys at a time. So it's slow. You know, it's not what it used to be from a business perspective, an income perspective. It was tough.
This is before we're talking about right now, like recently.
Now.
Man,
Yeah.
and I think
It's tough.
we're not even fully open yet.
We're not fully open.
And I say we just because I feel like part of it.
Yeah.
But you know, it and I actually retired from the team, you know, before COVID hit. And I remember when it hit right away, I immediately, both Tay and I were like, I miss it. How do we help? Like this is still our home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything we can do. So I'm excited for the studio to open back up. It seems she gave you guys a chance to reset some things.
Yeah.
Like the roster and the lineup looks like fire of the teachers right now. The shoot we did at Cause Spot looks really good from what I can see already.
Good.
So I'm excited just to get the studio back up and running. But you talked about the drive too during Harvey, right? You guys always get back to the community. That's what I love about you guys. You guys are super conscious about it. You guys have also spoken up recently about George Floyd and everything going on, the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
How important is that to you as a business? Or what is the thought process on speaking up, not speaking up? You know, how involved do you get in that as a business? And then even as a man?
As a business, you know, now is the time to step up. Especially we're in a position where we're so diverse at the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to any of our shows, we have all different races, whatever, just all across the board, whether you're gay, straight, black, white, Asian, whatever it is, like none of us, none of that matters,
Doesn't.
For us, it's about the movement, the music, the sense of community, and then just the love for dance and arts and general. I feel like that's brought back in the days. That's brought Wyldstyl together, and I hope that, and it has been continuing. I hope that continues to continue for a while. So when one of our own, in this scenario, for the Black community, which is very, very important to me personally, we have to step up and speak out for it. Like racism and all that stuff. That's not what we're about. I think if you know me and a lot of Andrew and Calvin and a lot of the people at Soudnbox, that's not what we stand for. I mean, our team is so diverse, and that's the beauty about dance in general, the hip hop culture or the urban choreography culture in not just in Houston but across the U.S. It brings different ethnicity together. It's beautiful to see. So to me, that when that happens, when the movement increase, and I was happy to see that, and I think we're in the middle of a big civil rights movement now, and you want to look back and kind of say, what did you do during one of the biggest civil rights movement in the world? Because it's not just in the U.S. People around the world
all over the place
doing it. So you need to do what you need to do. That's right. You need to do what's right, no matter what. I feel
like that's not uncharacteristic of you to do what's right when, even not for the sake of looking back and be like, did I do something? I feel like you in particular have such a strong sense of integrity and character. And anyone I talk to who truly knows you, anyone in the group, has a story of where you have stood by them, traveled for them, spoken up for them, called them out, checked them on something, right? I feel like, I don't know if fearless is the right word, but I feel like you're one of the few to actually vocalize and be actionable about the things and people you care about.
Yeah. The way I think about it is that when you're honest and when you believe in what you do, you care about something, you know, fear doesn't cross you because that's what your heart's about. You know, there's no fear is the last thing you want to think about, right?
So it doesn't even cross your mind. You're just like, I have to go do this.
Yeah. I would say so. You know, like if that's what you feel is right, you're gonna do it. That's what you believe in. That's what the movement you want to support, or that's just something you see it's right. You're gonna do it. Fear is the thing that's gonna be in the back of your mind unless somebody brings it up.
Yeah. I feel like you're so good about actually doing something. Like I feel like a lot of people may feel uncomfortable or they may see something wrong. I'm not even talking about what's going on right now in the culture. I'm talking like just in general in life, right? I feel like a lot of people see things that are wrong and don't say anything. And I just have never known you to be someone to not say something. Do you feel like that's an accurate observation? So you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You don't even think about it.
I don't know because it's kind of tough to say, right? Sometimes for me personally, sometimes I'm slow to react to things because maybe I'm busy or I mean, I work full-time job. I run the studio. I mean, I have Andrew and Calvin and our PIC to help. Without them, can't do it.
Yeah.
But just there's a lot of things going on in what I do. It's funny because I have my own business, but I also worry about other people's business. Like
that's crazy. Like you truly care.
I'm their banker, so like my mind's always revolving about business and which makes me slow to be able to respond to things sometimes. But as I get older and wiser, for me, it's more about being aware of the situation first before you reacting to the situation.
Sure.
Because you want to do it strategically, methodically, and responsibly also. Right? Before you jump into doing it. I try to think 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Before each move.
You always like that?
I play chess, yeah.
Like Vietnamese chess?
No, like chess.
Like chess.
Yeah. My first trip to Austin was for a chess tournament. Hello. I'm gonna drink.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'll cheers you for that one then, because that's pretty.
Yeah, middle school.
Were you good? Like,
I don't have sports trophies, but I have chess trophies.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're a nerd.
I am.
Oh man, that's wonderful.
But
that's dope though. But the story that I like the most, because I like hearing different stories about people. I forget who it was, and they spoke at your wedding about how you drove to Austin for New Year's. Who was that?
David.
Yes.
David Din.
Double D was talking about how he moved to Austin and he was in a weird spot. He reached out to you.
No, David Din.
No?
David Din was
that's
there in
right.
Austin even before Lake Travis. This is how old David Din is. He was, he may have been there when Austin was founded. A lot of FSA families.
You mean he knew
their
Stephen
mom
Austin?
went through FSA when he was there.
Yeah.
Their cousin, their aunt, their sister. I'm just kidding, David. I'm just kidding. He's old, but
he's old.
Yeah.
So correct me wrong. So this is the story that I think I heard because I was in the back because your wedding was so big. So I heard that he was there around New Year's time.
Yeah.
And he was in a weird spot, emotionally mental or something like that. And you drove to Austin to spend New Year's with him instead of everybody else. You decided to spend time with him. I love that about you. I feel like that's everything I know about you wrapped up into a few words, is that you've done that. And I wanted to thank you on camera, especially because you and Soudnbox and everybody in the studio is probably the reason Taylor and I chose to move to Houston.
Wow.
Tay will fact check me on this, but I moved out of the military. I moved to LA and San Diego, had a great time out there, and I wanted to move back to Texas, but My sister wasn't living in Houston. My family wasn't here yet. And well, Tay and I were like, well, which community do we come up with? Do we feel the most at home with? And she's from El Paso, and I spent a lot of time there. But we decided together that the Houston dance community, and Soudnbox in particular, was always so open to us. And that's why we moved to Houston.
What makes Soudnbox so open to you guys?
I think there's a couple of things, and there's a couple of stories that stick out to me. So the first one is before you guys even saw me dance, you gave me an opportunity to teach, which is silly because I really wasn't qualified to teach at the time, right? But you still allowed me to come in and say something along the lines of, well, you have something to teach. And I was like, okay, well, I appreciate that. And the faith in me from the very beginning, having not even seen it, it meant a lot to me. And I was 22, 23 at the time, very young. And for you guys to be like, here's the ball, run with it for this class. It meant a lot to me. And then even right after that, inviting me and Joe Ray to come perform at Bash 2. And every year after that, like, I feel like you guys have always given me, in particular me specifically, an opportunity to do projects, to teach, to be a part of the group. When we moved, you invited me to your house so many times to hang out. And even though we know the community, we don't have a lot of friends coming in here. And you and Lan have always been great. Like, Lan's downstairs playing with my son right now, and my son loves you. Like, I don't know why. He can't stop staring at you.
He has two dads.
He has two dads, but he can't stop staring at you. And here's one. If I forgot, you let me do my gender reveal and my
awesome.
and my proposal at Birthday Bash.
Yeah,
like not even like a year after moving here, we found out we're pregnant, and I had this crazy idea, and you go, yes, like we would love to do that in the theater. Like, you guys have just always been so giving without asking anything back. And I think that's why Taylor and I are always wanting to help out, always wanting to give back. And I love you for that, man.
I appreciate it, man.
I really do.
I love you guys for that. The fact that you guys chose to do it at Soudnbox Birthday Bash is, you can put it the other way, that it was an honor to us. So
yeah, you guys have been family. I cannot stress that enough. We have the family that we grew up with and the family that we choose, right? And we chose to be in Houston to be with you guys.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. And I say that a lot. I don't think people understand that. Like, we really could have gone anywhere. Like, I got out of the military and they send me a piece of paper that says, where do you want us to send your stuff? Like, and you can go anywhere in the world. Well, in the US at least, right? And I was like, okay, well, let me work this out. And I was working my interviews. And I interviewed for like 10 companies and I got some offers. I said, I don't care where we start, but I'm going to end up in Houston. And I told them that. And within 5 years, they put me back in Houston. So it's a really good, man. And even now, like, you're sitting on my couch, like, we're just chopping it up.
Yeah, this
cool.
This is awesome. In the kind of almost, hopefully towards the end of pandemic.
Yeah, I can't wait to barbecue and do another crawfish boil at your place and all these things.
I would love that. I think, dance it's been a big part of my life, and obviously it's a beautiful thing. It's brought so many people into my life.
Same.
It's brought so many people together. It's created so many friendship, love, breakups, love again, marriages, kids, children, whatever it is. It's beautiful. So that's the one thing that I've seen over the years, and I want to keep that going. Hopefully, we can keep this going for another while. We've seen some of our kids going from being in middle school to graduating high school, to going to college. It's awesome. Like, you never think, like, you see them from that young to now so old, and some of them are married now that was in Riot Squad years and years ago. But
yeah,
it's a blessing, I guess, to be able to see that. And dance has helped me so much and brought so many people into my life. And
did you even think it was going to happen when you started?
No.
Like, it was going to take you this far?
No, it started with a passion, and and a goal.
You guys evolved with it. It sounds like
Yeah.
you grew with it.
Passion, goal, dream,
Yeah.
doing the right thing. I think, that's our drive and our motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Over time, because of work and my career job, sometimes it can shift my focus.
Sure.
I can't be as fully as 500% as I used to be.
But there are seasons in
Yeah.
where you take shifts.
But fortunately, I have Calvin, Andrew, the directors,
Yeah.
everybody to keep everything going. So, that my point is, I can't do any of these without you guys, basically. Yeah. And that's what Soudnbox is about. We're our goal is to keep things going, to keep the community going, to keep dancing, and hopefully, I would love one day if Elijah's teaching at Soudnbox.
We'll see if he can. If he can even dance yet. No, he doesn't get to teach. He has to earn his stripes.
Okay, so I'll share something with you. The first time I auditioned for Slam Squad is the junior team.
Oh, there's a real history here.
That Planet Funk started at the time. It was first season. Slam Squad. Okay. First season. I auditioned after being on my high school dance team in my senior year for a couple months. My captain at the time was like, "Hey, I'm on the adult dance team. I made it, but you guys should audition for the junior dance team."
Okay.
So I auditioned. It's called Slam Squad at Planet Funk. We went in, and the teacher was teaching this dance routine, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm like, why does he keep stopping at 8? Why does he count to 10? I was 17 years old. I did not know what an 8 count was.
Yeah. And you've been dancing for a few months already.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, why is he stopping at 8?
You just yell, 9!
No, I didn't yell. I probably sucked so bad. But the teacher was Gary, who I mentioned earlier, Gary Connor at Planet Funk. He took me in because they needed boys. And there was only 3 boys I auditioned.
Okay.
3 boys made it. The kid that doesn't know an 8 count. I could keep up with the moves. I picked it up from memory.
Yeah.
Muscle memory, I guess. But because I got into b-boy before that in middle school. I was got into b-boy. I was one of the Asian kid in middle school that were doing b-boy. Anyways, that's another story. But yeah, and that's how I came about. Gary gave me a chance. He took me on to Slam Squad, and actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know how I paid for dues at the time. I think I was working, and I paid for it on my own.
See, I think that's what I'm learning from this conversation right now from you is growing up, I always felt like, and even now, I feel like, you have to earn your stripes, you got to pay your dues, you got to, nothing's going to be given. Like, you got to be ready for the opportunities when they come, right? That's kind of how I always approach things. I'm learning from you right now, though, as I'm getting an hour wiser, right? To give the chances.
Yeah.
Out of faith.
Yeah.
I maybe that's what I'm learning this past hour talking to you right now is, and that's why I love you so much, is you are so giving and so faithful in other people to do that. And that kind of scares me. Like, do you ever get scared about getting burned? Or like, like someone, maybe not taking advantage of, because I don't like that phrase, but someone not, upholding their end of whatever you're offering.
Yeah. It's a thought that crossed my mind, but it crosses more and more as I get older. But
really,
back then, no, it was to me because of the way I was brought into a lot of things. It's more about my passion and my drive.
Yes,
for the talent, because the talent can grow if you have the passion and drive, and you're willing to work at it day and day and day and day.
Yeah,
eventually you can pick up an 8 count. I don't know, but so yeah, for me, whenever I stepped down as director, I passed it on to David Trong at that time. It wasn't like I gave him like a brochure with like step-by-step instruction. I knew he had the heart, the drive, and I kind of just like run with it.
Yeah.
Like I never like step in and tell them really what to do because that's how I came into it. No one told me what to do really.
Yeah.
I just winged it. So I guess that was my way of maybe not be the best way, but that's how I kind of just let the director step in at certain times. At when I was that young, that didn't really think about it. It was just natural to me.
Just
Like,
to get the shots.
Yeah, to me, it's beyond just the talent. It's more like the drive, the motivation, the ability to keep the team together and motivate and keep going. You got to have some talent into it, obviously, but it was never really like, hey, you need to do this, and this, rehearse this and this, or, follow these guidelines. It's like just, hey, I feel like you're ready, run with it. Yeah.
So, and you made a good point, like, when you transitioned out of being a director, I feel like you've been really graceful in that transition too, right? Because you're married now.
Yeah.
Right? You're definitely in a different season of your life. Do you feel older, wiser now that you're married? Do you feel like a big boy? Like, like that you're an adult now?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you drink whiskey and smoke cigars. Like, you're pretty grown.
Yeah.
What's it like being married now and older and, thinking about starting a family?
Yeah.
How is that so different from, 10 years ago when Soudnboxes, you're looking for space?
Totally.
What's the biggest difference, you think? Like, what keeps you up at night? Besides land snoring.
The alarm going off once in a while. It wakes me up with a call. I'm just kidding. No, for the most part, I sleep pretty well. I guess.
You do. Okay.
But not because like I have nothing to worry about, but there's a lot to worry about, But I think for me is being aware. With
of
everything,
what?
you got to be aware of your situation, being aware of your the scenario that you're going to be in, where you're at, and what role, what job you're in at a time. So what I mean by that is I'm aware whenever I'm at home, whenever I'm with Lane or when I'm about to go to sleep, to put that work away, the bank work, for example.
You turn it off.
The studio work. Yeah.
Really?
I try to.
Were you always that way? I feel like I still bring it home a lot.
No, yeah, and it comes with the territory. You're gonna bring it home, and it's gonna come up no matter what. You can turn it off, but it can trigger at any moment, right?
Oh my gosh, all the time, yeah.
The thing about being aware is that you gotta the first thing about any situation in life is you gotta be aware that if you're aware that a situation can come up anytime.
Yeah.
I feel like when it does come up, it clicks to you and you can snap back into it. You're like, okay, this is what I
like. You're already ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I planned for it. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Or this is really good. I planned for it. It's done with.
Yeah.
Or it's okay for now. Let's turn it off. Let's focus back on what I'm supposed to do, what's important at the moment.
Yeah.
You deal with it at a later time. Situational awareness, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what you would say. That's what everything in life is being aware. As long as you're aware, whether it's a bad habit that you do, whether it's a mistake that you can make, whether it's a goal that you're going to achieve, whether it's first place that you're going to win, whatever. As long as you're aware, your mind can kind of almost come up with a scenario of how you're going to react to it.
Okay.
You've
already run this scenario in your head so many times.
And I guess this is just me from overthinking or always thinking 2 steps ahead of each scenario.
Chess.
Kind of have it almost pre-planned in your head.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. You get a lot of gray hair if you think too much. Yeah.
Almost. You don't have one gray hair. What are you talking about?
I have a lot of gray hair.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you dye it?
No.
Our sponsor today is Rogaine. I like that a lot. I'm learning a lot right now. I love that Elijah loves you. The photo of him at your Christmas party with little airport shots. Can you text me that? I'll put it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
text
yeah,
you.
text it to me and I'll put it on the thing. But it's one of my favorites for, I have no reason why. It's just so funny to me. But you're so good with him. Land's so good with him too. He's going to grow up and he's going to watch this and he's going to learn so many things. And I'm excited because he's going to see me learn in 1 hour just talking to you. And that's why you're my big bro, because I'm always picking stuff up from you. When he looks back on this, what would you tell him as a piece of advice so that he can be a better man, get through the day, whatever it is? What gem would you drop for him?
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
Okay.
Don't buy shoes.
Okay.
Save up for real estate.
Hey. Okay.
No.
I don't even wear shoes.
No, I mean, I couldn't buy shoes growing up because I was poor, right? My parents they came here as immigrants. They didn't have a lot of money. I always wanted cool shoes, so I could never have it.
I couldn't afford the Adidas. I had the 2 stripes.
Yeah, bro. I used to wear those shoes with the double straps around it. I thought it was cool.
nursing
My
shoes?
friends made fun of me, and now they're kind of cool. Anyways,
Yeah.
but, yeah, it just.
I'm gonna have Calvin on one day, and he's gonna be wearing his J's, and he's like, "What are you talking about?"
What are you gonna do with shoes during COVID? Nothing, right?
You're not.
Yeah.
You're protecting your feet.
With that many shoes? I'm just kidding. I love shoes. Okay, so true story.
Go ahead,
Before I answer
go
your question, I didn't buy my own pair of Jordans until this year,
This year?
and I turned 35.
Oh snap!
I
Which ones
didn't.
did you buy?
The Westbrooks.
Ooh.
I've always loved Jordans, but I like shoes, but I just never got around to. I don't know why.
Like you were never part of like the collecting and the history and everything.
Yeah. Yep. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I think shoes are cool. If it wasn't for Land, I wouldn't have buy more shoes.
Really? Shout out to Land.
Yeah. Shout out to the landline. But advice I would give Elijah is family is family over everything. I would probably say. The Elijah, the older you get, the more love and care that you're going to see from your parents that you may not recognize when you were younger. And hopefully that you can take the love and care that your parents give you and provide that back for your family tenfold. Not that they already are not doing it, but just keep that tradition going. Family's everything at the end of the day. Family's the backbone to your values, your morals, your upbringings, the way you treat people. Is so important, and it leads you to the way you treat other people in life. So, yeah,
Man,
this guy here.
For Elijah, when I grow up, I want to be like this guy. So if ever you see your dad's, question something and I don't know something, I'm probably gonna ask Duy on that, and that's straight up fact. I'll leave you for that, man. Thanks so much. Okay, last question is.
Cheers, man.
Oh man,
Open it up.
God, Big Brother status, man.
And then whiskey over family. I'm just kidding.
No.
No. All right.
Ooh, man, he's gonna watch this and be like, man, Pops, you were being a little B right now. All right. The last question is, because I really enjoy this conversation. Who is a person that has impacted you, taught you, mentored you to help you be the person you are now that I can speak to after this? Because I want to keep the conversation going and have more amazing people for Elijah to watch back on.
I have many people. But just going off of what I said, and just to pause for a minute, I think it's beautiful what you're doing with this Grwn Talk podcast. Everything that you're doing is for your son.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, and that's what I said. Just following up on family. Growing up, I guess I was always my family came here. Their goal is to have the best, do the best I can to provide the lifestyle for their kids to be successful.
Can you tell them where you moved from?
Yeah. So I came from Vietnam when I was 10.
From the motherland.
I came from there's a FOP shot here. Right.
You had the FOP shot?
Let me flex a little bit. I'm just kidding. FOP shot when I was 10.
What is the FOP shot? What's in it?
Man, I don't know.
It's like a cocktail stuff, right?
Measles and like anti.
All of it.
Yeah, whatever. I really don't know. I should educate myself more on that. But it's called the FOP shot. But I came here when I was 10. Tuan, my little brother, was probably 4 at the time. And my family came here. We were brought over by our uncle who came here in 75 after the war. He came over on a boat, went to school, graduated, became an engineer, brought his parents over, his uncle and aunt. My dad got delayed back a little bit because he was married to my mom and she was pregnant with me. So they would push back a little bit, and then she got pregnant with my brother Tuan, and got pushed back more.
Wow.
Anyways, finally we came over.
Yeah.
Just coming from that background. This is why I said we were poor growing up. We didn't have much because, just my dad worked the night shift since he started pretty much working until he retired recently due to his company laying him off. He just kind of retired. Yeah. He worked the night shift for, I would say, 20 plus years. Doesn't want to switch to the day shift. He's used to that. It's just a hardworking background. But yeah, that's where I came from, and this ties back into it because my parents were working so hard. I was always focused in school. I liked to dance. That was a new thing to the family at that time. It created a little distance between my dad and I.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because my parents would want me to focus in school.
Did they want you to be like a doctor or something?
Yeah, doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Profession, yeah.
Both my uncles were engineer. I didn't do that, of course. I got a marketing degree, and regardless, my parents are very proud of what I do until this day, and I appreciate them for being hard on me. Because if they weren't, I probably wouldn't take it out as much. And trying to prove to them that I could make it, punch a hole in a couple walls in the room. Anyway.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
That was you?
Yeah.
I never took you for a wall in the hole puncher. Hole in the wall puncher.
Yeah. I was one of those kids, just angry. But the morals and the values were always there. Like no matter how angry I get, the morals, the values, the ethics were always there from the family background. So that's why family, the way your upbringing is very, very important to carry on that tradition. And I didn't really think about it until I got married, or actually met Lan. Sorry, my wife now. She's very close with her family. So when I met her, got introduced to her family, how close they were, how family oriented they were, and they have a huge family. So
yeah.
I feel like I regained and relearned that family aspects from Lan, my wife now. And
can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
I feel the same way as far as the timeline goes. Growing up, my dad's in the military and everything, and we moved around a lot. When I turned 18, I moved out. I never looked back. Not that we don't have a connection. I just, I never thought once about moving back. And there were Christmases and Thanksgivings weren't not always like a big thing for us as a family. And now that I have Elijah, and now that my parents live 15 minutes from here, and my sister Steph lives in the Galleria now, and used to live like in the next room, I don't regret it, but I'm really appreciating how much time we have now. like how close we are now about it. And you know, there were years when, or like 6 months at a time, a year at a time, I didn't see them. You know what I mean? And we were all doing different things. And like I said, I wouldn't regret it, but at the same time, now that I get to see him once a week, you know, whatever it is, it makes a world of a difference. I don't know how I would have Elijah, a job, Taylor, COVID, and everything without my parents being so close. They were instrumental and just amazing. I totally get what you're saying now. Just seeing the value as you get older of what your family can give you.
Yep.
Not give you, but just like the value of having family all the time. I didn't get it.
Whether they're close or not with you in your social life, but their upbringings and the value, the morals that you're surrounded with, it rubs off in your social life.
Yes.
If you're not close. But so whenever I see that, you know, I was like, this is the woman that I would like to build a family with.
Really?
Yeah.
That's solid. And you guys have to be on the same page with that. Like when you come to a realization that this is going to be the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, the family aspect, you have to be on the same page with it on. And I think I see that with you guys 100%. Yep. Do you feel, I know we're going to go off topic right now on it, but we're talking about now is, has your relationship with your dad changed? Because mine with my dad has changed in the last 5 years even.
Yeah.
How has your relationship changed? See, now we're going off, but this is
cool.
But this is real Grwn Talk. This is really for Elijah.
This is real Grwn Talk.
Okay.
Because I never thought about this until Soudnbox birthday bash number 6. Whenever Sean,
4 years ago.
Whenever Sean, we were able to get Sean Evaristo to come to Soudnbox. Yeah. So he judged, or he was part of. He came for. He came for birthday bash 6. For his workshop, he didn't teach his normal class that he normally teach. Mm-hmm. He did a kind of like a different mentality workshop movement. But part of the workshop is to be able to think of someone or some event that has really bothered you in your past years, and if you can write a letter to that person, explain to them how that had hurt you or affected you or made you better, whatever the scenario is, and put in a letter and pretend like you send it off to them, and you go through these exercises and movements and kind of like just let that go into the universe. For me, I never thought about my dad being an influence into my musicality and dance.
Ooh.
But at that moment, I thought about something. Like my dad was always against me dancing, right? Or he just going out. He was being a protective dad, and I'll get into fights with him during my teenager years and college years. But I remember back, even in Vietnam, and when I came over here growing up, I would have like this toy that's like a little piano thing. Yeah. And he doesn't play the piano, but he would learn how to play certain songs, and he would teach it back to me on the piano, whether it's like Jingle Bell.
That's super sweet. That's so sweet.
Or like just like random songs, and he would teach it to me by just memorizing the notes, and I would memorize the notes, and that's how I kind of learned how to play on these little toy piano from him. But even though he was against me dancing, I don't know if he knew it or if I knew it, but like I thought back about it, I'm like, my thing around music and instruments was because of this. And he doesn't know music. So I wrote that letter to him. Yeah. In that exercise. And
that's like a light bulb moment.
Exactly. So now we hang out, we drink. I would say we're pretty close. Yeah. Closer than when I was growing up.
I had a similar moment because my dad didn't let me dancing either. But my introduction into hip hop was actually through emceeing and poetry and writing. And he hated that growing up because like I was a young Asian rapper, right? And like this I was wearing chains, like, you know what I mean? Like he just didn't like it, he didn't understand it. And I was trying to think of the same thing. And I remember second grade, third grade, you write poems and then the class puts together a poetry book, at the end of like the year, whatever it is, and every kid has a poem in it.
Second grade.
Just something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's probably like, roses are red, violets are blue, whatever. And so my dad was just coming back from the field because he was in the army. And I remember he was asleep and I put the little book and it was like stapled. And I put the book on his stomach or something like that. And I was like, hey, I wrote a poem, like, check it out. And the next morning, he would go to work before I woke up. And when I woke up, the poem book was by my bed. And I opened up to my poem and he wrote, good job. Or just like really simple, like good job. Or I like how you wrote that. Or something very, very simple. And I think that was the moment that I was like, there's power in words. My dad enjoys me being creative with words.
Wow.
I had that, I think I had a very similar moment. And that came up to me maybe, 5-6 years ago at the same time. And I was like, oh my, and I told my dad that. And what's funny is he doesn't even remember doing it. And I told him, I was like, I think, Dad, everything creative I've done since that moment was hopefully in a healthy way to get your approval or your attention because you gave it to me when I was 7 for this one thing, right? And maybe that's why we fought when I got older and I started really pursuing writing and really pursuing the arts, right? It's like, because I thought you wanted this, but now you don't want this. It's interesting that you said that. That's crazy. But we drink now too. We drink a lot now.
Yeah. I mean, my musicality and my brothers normally came from my mom because my mom grew up. She was a dancer. She likes to sing. So
yeah.
I mean, she still performs at Kim's son up until this day.
Does she really?
She was on a flyer at freaking
singing.
Performing.
I didn't know that.
Kim Sa, shout out to Kim Sa. That's my mom. But yeah, just going back to it, I think family's probably one of the most important aspect of life, and family can mean, it may not be your biological parents, it may not be, whatever this is. It's, for me growing up, family was Wyldstyl, for example, that is also family.
Yeah,
the
sure.
People that were around me. So just the word family can mean a lot. So value that. Whatever you find to be your supporting figure, that you supporting group, supporting morals at that time. Value that, learn from it, and see how that value can translate you into continuing the family tree. Because family is not all about you as a family. It's a continuing process, right? It's a growing development process.
Would you even call it legacy or tradition?
Yeah. The tradition. David Din, David Din, tradition. That's a dangerous word, tradition. Legacy would be the better word. Yeah. Tradition. God. If you know what I meant when I said tradition, David Din. He'll be a good person to be on the show.
That's your nominee?
Yeah. I have.
You can't take it back on him now because you said it.
Yeah, I said it. No, but my main nominee is sound biased, but I would say, my wife, Lan. I think
I would love that.
Lan. I think she'll be cool.
Yeah,
for you to have on the show. I would love to see her.
I talked to a lot of guys, and I would love to talk.
Well, that's another point too.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see her. See you talk to her. I would want to see what her views are and etc. But yeah, Lan, David. If you can, I hope you continue this show. But Mark Buchanan, would be another one.
Ooh.
You know,
Taylor and I were just talking about Mark too.
Yeah.
One, because Mark was actually the first one to know we were pregnant. I'll tell you the story real quick, okay? Why are you laughing?
I don't know why, but I just picture Mark like popping his head up out of nowhere, just like
out of a bush.
Yeah, just like, hey guys. Yeah.
He was actually in the room while we got our test. No, it was his birthday. It must have been 2 years ago, right? When we found out we were pregnant, and we went to secret group.
Yeah.
At the bar, and he got sloshed. He was wasted, and Taylor wasn't drinking because we knew she was pregnant, and she was getting a lot of water. And we played it off. We were like, "Oh, she's the DD and everything." But anyone who knows Taylor knows that you could probably peer pressure her to drink a little bit,
Okay.
And so we're getting water, and Mark's drunk. He's like, "Oh, I love you guys. Thanks for being here." You know how he is, right? And he's
that before or after he started rapping?
probably in the middle. Oh my gosh, he did Nelly at one point. Oh, God. I love when he does Nelly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're getting him water because it's towards the end of the night. We want to slow him down a little bit, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, so we're getting water. Taylor's drinking water, and he goes, "Taylor, why are you being a punk drinking water? What are you, pregnant?" And Taylor goes, I don't know why, but she's sober. She goes, "What?" And she looked at me like, "Did you tell him?" She goes, "Oh." And then Mark sobers up. "Are you guys kidding me?"
He's so good, Mark.
He hugs me. He goes, "Oh my gosh." And I was like, "Mark, you can't tell anybody. We haven't told anybody yet." He goes, "I'm the first to know." He's already drunk crying, but he's really crying too, right? And he goes, "Oh my gosh, take this drink." Nope. And what's funny is he doesn't even remember. But Mark was the first person to know we were pregnant.
Mark
Cheers to Mark.
is the guy that married Lan and I.
He did fantastic.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. David Din was the guy that married Lan officially, but
right.
Yeah, because
but he was yeah. But yes, I like those a lot.
Yeah. So I think he's just coming off of COVID-19. He's a nurse. He's a first responder. I don't know. You talked to Elisa.
He's famous too.
Recently,
yeah. Commercials.
He's very famous. Yeah.
He's good looking.
Yep. And he just recently got married with a wife that's in another country during the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
I like that a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I definitely have to reach out to Mark.
I don't know. I know I've been going on for a while now,
what's up?
talking and but if I can say anything, I know we're in the middle of also the biggest civil rights movement.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Right now. For me, I thought a lot about that and the hip hop culture and what brought me to this point. I thought back about it. Like the people that actually gave me the opportunities were black men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
In high school, I always b-boy in middle school. When I got to my senior year in high school, my high school started this thing called, well, I guess it's just a dance team.
Yeah.
But at that time, there was a b-boy group and a modern dance team. So
modern,
like
urban choreo type.
It was just called modern.
Okay.
Bel Air modern team. Shoot, I forgot what that. I'm pretty sure it's modern. Anytime at that time, I was heavily involved in drama. I was doing a lot of plays, and I heard about the dance team. I left drama. I signed out of the class. The teacher's like, "What are you doing? What are you leaving this for?" Anyways, I left. I joined the b-boy crew.
Yeah.
Right. And then I went to the first class practice, and I looked to the other side of the cafeteria because at that time we were practicing the high school cafeteria. I saw this guy who was teaching some movements, and I was like, "What is that?" I went out over there, and it was Leonard. His name was Leonard. And he said, "Yeah, I'm just teaching." You and I'm like, "What? And what is this?" It's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I forgot what happened, but I ended up trying to learn the movements, and he taught it to me. I learned it, and I liked it. Yeah. And I was like, B-boys, I'm gonna try this. Yeah, so it was only Leonard and me and two other guys. It was just 4 dudes. Yeah, and I remember us 4 performing at our the first dance I learned was to Craig David.
Craig David?
Craig David, yeah.
Which song?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm take it back. Christina Milian, From AM to PM.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was my first dance that I
How did you confuse those two?
I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Christina Milian. She's fire.
We end up learning a Craig David dance later on that I like more. That's probably why. But
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
But who'd you perform for? Just like for school?
We performed at a pep rally. It was just
That's
four of
ballsy.
us, 4 dudes.
That's courageous.
And then some girls on the modern dance team. And we did a chair routine to Christina.
Chair?
Yeah, chair routine. And
is there a video of this?
No, thank God. The Facebook and Instagram and none of that was available
pay
at that time.
big money to see you dancing with a chair.
Man, it was.
Can I watch it later?
It was.
Can I get a reenactment later? Drink that.
It was cool, and then but yeah. Anyways, Leonard, one of my friends from high school. We went in the same grade. I was in my senior year, but yeah, he was. Just thinking back about it, like. Leonard, Leo Price now. He's a professional dancer in LA. He was already dancing at Planet Funk at that time. He made it onto the adult dance team because he was so good. So he's like, hey, the audition passed for the adult dance team, but they just started a junior dance team. So I was the older guy at that time, but I still made the cutoff age. So I auditioned for the junior dance team at Planet Funk, and Gary gave me a chance. But anyways, Leonard, he's a black guy.
Yeah.
Even though we were on the same high school dance team, when we performed with Planet Funk, he was with the adults team. Mm-hmm. But I would still make fun and tease and just friends. But he was the guy that taught me my first choreography. Yeah. Ever.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then we did several shows together after that. And it was awesome. If it wasn't for Leonard, I don't think I would have met Gary, because Leonard told me to audition for Planet Funk, and that's where I auditioned, met Gary and Philip Lee was the co-director at the time. He didn't like any of the guys that auditioned. If it was up to Philip, who was like one of my best friends now, I wouldn't have made the team. When Gary was like, we need guys, we need boys, boy guys, boys.
Males,
yeah. So Gary picked us 3, and at the time it was like a team of like maybe 10 to 12 girls. Yeah. It was just 3 boys, me, Ricky, and Kyle. And
wait, Ricky?
No. This is Ricky. Salinas. He doesn't dance anymore. Kyle's a chef now. But that's how we came about. Gary gave me an opportunity. He saw that I was a boy and he needed a boy and he felt like he can train me. So he picked me up, and I think without those 2 guys, I wouldn't. Who knows? I still may be dancing, but if it wasn't for those 2 guys, who are both African-American male, and Gary, I looked up to him in so many different ways. He left Planet Funk. I left Planet Funk with him. He started Wyldstyl with Philip. Philip opened up a dance studio. Gary was the director. I was a dancer. I taught my first class with Gary. He took my first class. Calvin was there for my first class, believe it or not. Wow. He didn't take the class. He just came because he heard about it.
But you didn't know Calvin at the time?
I did not know Calvin. He was there for my first workshop. Rock Cafe was the song. David Din was there. And then it's weird how we just all connected. And I met Andrew through a talent show that we did for Wyldstyl. Yeah. Vietnamese Student Association at U of H. He saw it. He loved it so much. He auditioned. I wish I have his audition video still.
You do?
I need to find it. Ooh. Yeah. But
behind closed doors.
Anyway, just going off. I'm sorry, I went off topic, but like the hip hop culture, going back to it, plays so much importance to what we do today because hip hop music stemmed from Black people.
Yeah.
That's, you know, as a matter of fact, Wyldstyl, if you know
Like the movie.
Wyldstyl, yeah.
The movie, yeah.
That's the history of Wyldstyl. Gary, he loved it so much that he named the team Wyldstyl, except he spelled it the Gary way. The way Wyldstyl is spelled now is because of Gary. You know, Wild is spelled with a Y.
Yeah.
And style is spelled with a Y and no E.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, with no E. Sorry.
Yeah, I think you said it,
Yeah. It's because of Gary. That's how he spelled it.
Yeah.
That's how we kept it. But that's how much hip hop has influenced into Wyldstyl. If you think about it, Wyldstyl to the graffiti to the hip hop, the first hip hop movie, is because of the Black culture. For me personally, it's because of my first director.
Yeah.
Who was Black. Without him, I don't think I'll be where I am today and be able to meet Calvin, Andrew, and all the people that helped me got to this day and meeting my wife. So I just it's sad to see what's going on in the world today. And it's a time like this right now where I need to speak up and just kind of let people know the history of how we all came about and who got them here today and the founding fathers. These were Black men, you know. And as an Asian American who's an immigrant, the civil rights movement started back then was because of the African American, because of MLK. That started all so that we are able to be treated the way we are now, you know? So we need to speak up. We need to stand up for our brothers and sisters. We need to do whatever we can to continue the movement. It's okay if you are slow to react. I feel like be strategic about it. Think about it, because the last thing we want to do is jump on board and hop off board. It's okay if you're going to be slow to react, or if you're quick to react, make sure you continue reacting. If you're slow to react, make sure you keep that going. If you're slow to react, also make sure you think about it and why, and make sure that whatever you're reacting is going to continue to react, right? Because what I don't want to see, me personally, is everybody jump on board, do all of this now, 3 months later, whatever it is, it falls off the face of the earth, you know? Be strategic in what you do, right? To make sure that this continue to grow and you see results from it. So whether or not you have an idea of what you need to do now, it's okay. Sit back. Well, not sit back, but absorb in everything.
Yeah.
Do what you can. Be aware, and plan out your plan to continue this movement.
Yeah.
And keep it going, because it's not only going to help just the African American community, it's going to bounce back to help every immigrant community and your kids later on as they get older. So hopefully you think about your kids.
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah.
It's a good spot, brother. I love you.
Love you, man.
Thank you so much for doing this.